Well, here we are. This is the 2022 Hyundai Kona, an all-new designed small compact SUV, which I didn't know what to think of, to be honest, to begin with. I actually like the small form factor of this, but I didn't know how well it was going to actually handle, specifically on the highway. So I actually spent some time on the highway with this, and I'm more surprised than I thought. So let's get into it. Hey guys, welcome back to techgooch. I'm going to first do something I rarely ever do, and that's just, hey, if you have time, hit subscribe, share, like, comment, everything that you can on this video. I appreciate it. If you hit the bell, great. I have more vehicles coming, and I'm going to continue to do these videos as I can. Quick and short, like I said. But this is the 2022 all-new Hyundai Kona, which is a small SUV. But it actually feels more roomy than I thought it was going to feel. I fit me, my wife, and both my kids in here with no problems at all. Legroom actually is pretty decent in the backseat. We'll get into that when I do my walk around. But I'm going to try to keep this video, I'm trying to change things a little bit in how I do these things. But I wanted to give my first opinions real quick, and then we'll go through the technology in here and in the vehicle itself. Now this is the all-new 2022. They did redesign it this year. Or it's all new, right? It's all new design, new digital instrument cluster, and we'll kind of go into all that stuff as well when we kind of do our pan here of the dash. In terms of what this has a 1.6 turbocharged 4-cylinder in it, 7-speed dual clutch transmission. There's a lot to like about it. It actually has a lot more giddy up than I thought it was going to. Being a small SUV and everything and how it drives, it has a lot of technology, and we're going to go into that side of things specifically in driving. Maybe you noticed there real quick. One thing I noticed on this specific vehicle, that the brake is really touchy. It grabs really fast, which can be a great thing. Actually, it's just something you got to get used to. My 2019 Toyota Tacoma also had a fairly fierce brake. This one has more than that, but I think it's more because this is also a really light car. That said as well, I'm talking about the engine, back to that. This has 195 horsepower that's in it, so it's decent specifically for the weight. But it does give you what they claim is really good fuel economy, which I think they rate at 32 combined. 28-35 I think is where they're sitting. I have not gotten that, I'll be honest about it. In town I'm getting probably in 26 to 27. On the highway I'm pushing maybe 30, and that's just me in the vehicle. That's not a whole lot of weight or a whole lot of other people in here, so I don't know why I'm not getting, other than the fact that I know that I do live in Dubuque, Iowa, which I can't say great things when it comes to fuel economy for vehicles here, just because of, well, the terrain. So that's where I'm going to get into that. I think the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to pan the dash here. We're going to go through all the gadgetry in here, and then we'll talk about the safety features that are kind of built into this, and we'll go from there. So let's go to the next step. One thing that is nice that does help save fuel economy is the engine cutting off when you actually hit the stoplight. With a lot of modern vehicles do that and they automatically start. This one actually is I think it's pretty well designed in how accurate it is to find out when you're ready for the engine to come back on, but I did want to point that out real quick. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be from the driver's perspective, and all the technology that goes in there. You can see my USB cord for my lightning cable to use CarPlay, because this is a radio that doesn't have CarPlay and Android Auto capable. So, but let's start off to the side. First, have our vents here. Kind of cool, off, on, just kind of spinny vent and directional. I actually kind of like these style vents. I think Mercedes uses these. Either way, we have our lighting instrument cluster stuff, our downhill descent, as well as the traction control on-off button. Starting over, I guess, over here on the door as well, our standard controls here for our windows, our door locks, our mirror controls as well. The door handles are pretty standard on this guy. So let's start with the display here, which is going to be a fully digital display. However, at the same time, you basically control some of that stuff from here, from your pages and things like that, and then your OK up and down. I'm sorry if that's a little blurry, but we can change to see what information we want to see. You can kind of see up at the top up there is where you can actually see what page you're on. Information tells you the actual tire pressure. I love that kind of stuff. And then when your last break was, things like that. I just got fuel, so but that's where that is. Steering wheel is going to be your standard Hyundai steering wheel. It does have this weird nature kind of relaxation information. So over here we have our voice, our volume, our like track next and down or call. This mode button, as you can see here, watch, and you'll hear it. We're going to the apps, which is Sounds of Nature right now. And I'm going to turn it up a little bit. Oh, I haven't muted it. Oops, sorry. And I'm doing this from the steering wheel here, and this is going to be your next track here, sorry. And we have a calm sea waves, rainy day. It's interesting. You know, not something that I think I need, but over here on the radio, we can just go to radio, and there's what the radio looks like. It's got a kind of a neat atmosphere, but we'll come back to the radio here in a second. Our cruise control over here, we can set it. We can plus and minus the cruise control. We can set the lane, what do you call it? The lane following, or basically where it stays in the lane for you. And then we have our radar detecting, automatic adapting cruise control, which is fantastic. If you've never used it before, it's these two right here, both of these are fantastic. The lane assist essentially helps by keeping you in the lane by just slightly bumping the steering wheel. You can and here's the thing, you know, like you see a lot of people, they'll take their hands off the steering wheel. You never do that, right? I do like to test the system, kind of keep my hand at the ready. And in this system, it does come up with an alert saying, hey, get your hands back on the wheel after so many seconds of not having any feedback from your hand. But it does actually do a very, very good job. That's how I test to see how well that lane feature works. In this vehicle, it actually works pretty good. And that's how you enable or disable it right here. And you'll see up here on the dash, you can see where we have the, boom, the steering wheel that basically pops up. And that's where that is done. Same thing when you actually enable the speed control or the cruise control. This is where you can adjust how far long of a following distance you want to maintain, just like any modern vehicle. All right, let's go over to the radio. Like we said, we can hit map here. We can actually see a map, which this has navigation built in, which is part of the limited package. Navigation is where we're actually going to be able to put in destinations. Favorites, I don't have any favorites, but I also don't have anything hooked up with my phone right now. Seek and track back. We can go to the radio like I showed you before. Media, this is where you can actually change to Bluetooth, or if you have CarPlay or Android Auto and it's actually enabled, which I will enable here in a second. And then Sounds of Nature is actually where that mode button up there that we got before. And then setup, this is where you're going to go to actually do any setup within the radio itself. If you're going to add more device connections with Bluetooth, change any of the navigation information, it's all through here. So I obviously already have my phone paired with this, so when I plugged it in with the cable there, I can just hit CarPlay here. And a lot of times it'll actually come up by itself. But you can see it fills up the screen really good. It looks really nice. And with the audio system, the Harman Kardon audio system, it sounds really good too. So yeah, that's what CarPlay looks like, at least on it. Moving down, we have our climate system, which works. It's just a single zone. You just can adjust here, and then over here you can adjust the fan speed. Real quick and simple. I like dials. Dials work great. Mechanical dials like these. One thing I will say, and this is this vehicle in general, any of these smaller engine vehicles, a lot of times, it takes a while for it to warm up. So in the climate that I'm at, this was outside when it was like 0 degrees. It took a while for this to get warm in this vehicle, which you find a lot, like I said, with smaller cars, but I will say that real quick just as well. It does have information on passenger. It does also have rear seat detection as well, that lets you know on the dash. Down here we have a Qi charger, and it does have a light to let you know when you're actually charging with it. One single USB port, that's also your USB port for CarPlay. We have drive mode selector. That's going to come up on the main instrument cluster, where you can choose between smart, normal, and sport, and it'll change accordingly. We do have a transfer case lock, basically locks in the front and rear for our all-wheel drive system. We do have heated seats. One thing as well, these heated seats, they work actually pretty good. They do take a little bit to heat up. That's what I've noticed. So yeah, that's this is going to be our automatic start stop off button. So if you don't want to have that feature, you can turn it off if you'd like. Parking sensors, if you want to turn those off as well, because when you back, it has the sonar sensing parking capability. We do have an electronic parking brake and auto hold right here. We do have 2 cup holders, and down in here we do have a nice little cubby hole. So we'll get into the back seat here in a second. I do like to show now the glove box is actually a decent sized glove box, and they do have actual manuals. But that is most of the technology that's in here. Standard windshield wiper fluids. We do have automatic driving headlights. We do have daytime running lights as well, capable. And then we do have our standard windshield washer fluid and wiper controls. So that said, and this does have auto sensing wipers too, I should say that, because not all vehicles do have that. It is definitely something that a lot of modern vehicles are starting to put in more and more, rain sensing windshield wipers, but this does have it. So and then it does have home link capable as well. Let me see if I can get that showcase a little bit. Geez, doesn't like me right now. And then we do have an actual sunroof on this guy as well. So, and manual here, but the actual sunroof itself does fully open. So let's do the outside walk. So here we are. This is the teal aisle color. I love this color. I think they did a really good job picking the color. It has that squinty eye kind of look for the headlights that Hyundai's kind of going to. They've been going to now for a while. And I think it's a little squinty, but at the same time, it works really good even at night. The headlights work fantastic, so I have nothing against it, as long as you like the look of it. And actually, to be honest, I do like the look. Little squinty, I think, in the headlight, but that said, 18-inch alloy wheels on this version. I think the N version they do the 19s on. We do have lights on the mirrors as well, but you can see it's a nice little stubby little small SUV. And we'll show the back. We're going to do our standard luggage test with the back. And we do have luggage, or the rails up here for our roof rack. But it's a good looking vehicle. It really is. And the front seats are pretty comfortable. Now, even though I have some stuff in the front seat, at least we'll show you what this looks like getting in here. We do have a driver's way 8-way seat, all power, lumbar support. Passenger seat, not powered, just so you're aware. Just going to be on the driver's side. And then we do have the gas door back here to pop that guy. So that is a little bit different location, but that's what it is. And I didn't say before, Harman Kardon audio system. Sounds pretty good, actually. Moving to the back seat. Nice seats here. For a small SUV, it's not terrible. I have the seat back quite a ways for myself, because I like to have the seat back for myself, which means I'm just barely touching with my legs. Yes, always you could use a little more space, but not terrible. I do not like that there is only one USB port back here for charging for the rear seat passengers. I'd like to see at least 2. Same with the front, to be honest. I would like to see another one. And I'd also like them to see USB-C. This is a modern, brand new design, and I'm amazed they didn't go USB-C. Doors, pretty simple. No liquids storage in the doors. However, we do have our standard small cup holders here in the armrest, but you're not going to be able to use that if you put more than 2 people in the back seat. Then again, this is a small SUV. 2 people in the back seats, about as comfortable as it's going to get. These seats do flip down. I can show you here with this one, since I'm not using it. Otherwise, the two here, the middle one and the other one are tied together. And you can actually do, if I actually put the seat slightly forward, these do fold flat, and we get flat storage all the way across. So that works pretty darn good. Pretty simple. Did want to quick demo the reverse camera, so I'm going to throw it in reverse here, and we are going to see that it does have the, basically let you know where your tail end's going to actually go with those yellow lines as I turn the wheel heavier. But I wanted to at least show you what that camera actually looks like. Pretty solid camera, just like most of them are. Works really good. And those rear sensors, they also work quite well as well. And now it's time for my new favorite segment. Let's see how many suitcases we can get in here. It's not big. Pretty sure, I'm going to try real quick to make sure it will close like that. Yep, no problem. Okay. I'm pretty sure we're going to stick at 4. 4 carry-on luggage suitcases. That's all you're going to fit back here. This, even with the luggage rack coming down, looks like it closes just fine. We're not going to get a 5th. There we go. So pulling the suitcases back out, this is the back area here. This can be removed, but it is, you know, you tie it off, you bring it off, and it does remove. That's the best way to say it. But I'm going to leave it on. Speaker back here, but also underneath here, we do have some thinner storage. And then below that, that's where your spare is with your tools. But nice little storage, thinner, I guess, simple stuff. So I wanted to end real quick. I have a nice little list I actually put together of all the different things that this has capability and what built in. Proximity push button start. It does have the proximity keys for both unlocking the doors and push to button start. LED headlights and tail lights. Rear view monitor, that's your backup camera. I'll show you that actually here in a second. Smart cruise control, highway driving assistant, forward collision avoidance, driver attention warning, which is like what I said. Basically, it tells you, hey, get your hands back on the wheel, right? Blind spot monitoring, lane and following assist, cross traffic collision avoidance. That essentially tells you, hey, when you're backing up, if there's a vehicle coming from the side, it has those sensors built into the back side of the vehicle. They work very well. I have tested that. Park distance warning, which is essentially just sonar parking, Harman Kardon audio system, ambient lighting, wireless charging, rear occupant alert. Lots of capability built into these guys. I wish, again, there's a few things that I wish were slightly different. And is it the best vehicle I've ever driven? No. But I will say this. While I can't see myself purchasing this vehicle, I could make this a recommendation for like my mother, who doesn't have anybody else that goes with her all the time, but wants a reliable, smart, fairly an efficient, but sizable vehicle where you could take people with you. This is a smart vehicle in this day and age, and I think it's more than just, it could be my daughter. This could be a great starting vehicle. There is a lot to love, to be honest about it, at where this sits, and at the price point it sits at. It's not a bad vehicle. Starting at 21, topped out at just over 31. Yeah, pretty solid vehicle. Now, if you have any questions or comments, please post those below, or you can head over to techgooch.com and get a hold of me directly through the website if you have anything more intimate or maybe a longer set of questions. I've spent some time in this vehicle. I put a decent amount of miles into it, both in city and on highway. So I think the experience all the way around of where I like this. I don't think there is such thing as a perfect vehicle. And this definitely does not fit the definition of a perfect vehicle. But it is a good vehicle. Well done, Hyundai. Again, every vehicle that I've been testing, for the most part, I've been fairly impressed by in certain regards. This one exceeded my expectations based on what I thought it was going to be. Now, that doesn't mean, oh man, it's the best vehicle ever. And that's not what I'm saying. I have an expectation with every single vehicle I get. I try to go in with an open mind, and I'm pleasantly surprised by this. Yeah, so that's what it is. Thanks for watching here to the end of the video. I appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, by all means, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe. Share the video if you can for me. I'd appreciate it. Make sure you check back. I got more vehicles coming. And I can't wait to just continue doing this. This is a lot of fun. And if you have recommendations of things that you definitely want to see in the future, I'd definitely be game to hearing about that. So thanks again. We'll see you soon.